All right, let's go. First live stream coming at everybody. Thank you if you're joining us. Thank you to JD and the Web Patriot for joining me today. We're going to break down some dot ecosystem. We're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to cover some news, a few different projects here. Obviously, we'll cover Polkadot, but I've been making these videos for the dot community. You guys have been loving them. Thank you for all the support. Generally, they're about the technology, and I like the technology. That's what I'm more into. But inevitably, somebody's like, where can I buy it? Or how much is it? Or what is the price it's going to? So we brought in JD here because he doesn't care about the news. He is a technical analysis guy. He eats, breathes, and sleeps TA. So he's going to share with you his knowledge on some of these tokens. Try to do this every Monday if possible, starting it up now. So hopefully you guys like it, and we'll just get into it. JD and the Web Patriot, thank you guys for joining. And we'll start right here, guys. I want to talk about some dot first. And Web Patriot, I know we've been talking about this a little bit, just the two of us, but obviously the big thing right now is dot 2.0. And I think there's a couple of common misconceptions, I think, and that's why I wanted to bring up some of these tweets and talk about it. Filippo also brought this up, that there's like this common misconception between one thing being core time and block space, and this post kind of addresses that. But also people, I see a lot in the comment section when Polkadot 2.0, like it's going to be just some switch that's flipped up. So I want to get into this a little bit here. This is from Jimmy Tudesky, a really good tweet he put out a couple of days ago. It was actually retweeted by Polkadot. So dot 2.0 agile core time is kind of the big development here. So allowing developers to reserve constitutional or computational time and space on the blockchain, and then going into a little bit of the difference of core time versus block space. And then kind of the interesting thing that we just saw that just went through is this referendum here of burning revenue sales from core time that looks like it just passed. And if you look at this timeline here, executed on February 24th. So I guess, Web Patriot, I'll go over to you and just maybe you can give some of your thoughts on 2.0 and what some of these upgrades mean.
Yeah, well, things are developing in the 2.0 world. We got also, I think Agile Core Time is like what you just mentioned is on what's on testnet Rococo. So yeah, it's developing quickly. It seems like it's going to progress pretty fast. The core time sale thing is pretty interesting that's passed, because that's going to make dot more deflationary when you think about it, or at least it's going to apply deflationary pressure on an inflationary currency. So yeah, that's pretty interesting to see how all this is going to develop and go down the road. In terms of the core time versus the block space concept, from my understanding, core time is going to be like the computational time that that the parachains, that the enterprises are going to use within Polkadot, and block space is more pertained to the within the relay chain itself, the actual like block space within the relay chain for data and storing and all that type of stuff. So core time is more or less like the space and time that you're going to basically buy, rent, sell within Polkadot on the secondary market, whatever you're going to do with it. Like, the idea is to go from a fix to a flexible core time. Right now we have like the parachain lease model, so we're going to move away from that to where you got to like lease the core time space for 2 years, and then you got to lock up a certain amount of dot with the crowd loan. So that's all being scratched to where you have more sovereignty over your basically core time, where you can split the core time between parachains. Let's say if I have a enterprise or a business and I want to use core time for, I don't know, 6 months, I could have my core time for 6 months. Then I can transfer it over to Jason, and then you can use it for your media business for 4 months, and it can go to JD and alternate like that. So it's going to just basically make it more flexible, give you more sovereignty and control, and basically be a more flexible, agile Polkadot. And that's really where it's transitioning to right now.
Yeah, and for me, like I like to break things down simply. To me, it sounds like I don't know, this is going to sound kind of ridiculous, but like you go to the tennis court, like if everybody shows up at the same time to play tennis, like no one can play, and it just gets kind of bogged down. So you have the reservation type of system. But I think where it gets really interesting is this referendum burning core time sales, and also what you're talking about, making it agile in the way it's sellable. You're going to have marketplaces that pop up. So I think that's pretty interesting as well.
Secondary markets, all that, yeah. Which is
And it's
actually
just
going to be
another,
interesting too, see how that develops. Because yesterday, like, okay, so when core time launches, I'm thinking that it's going to be like it's going to take time for demand to pick up. You know what I mean? Polkadot's still in its infancy, so if there's low demand, I'm thinking that the price should be relatively low to buy core time space, right? So like, what if you could buy core time space now and then make a significant profit on it in the future or something like that? Could that play out in that way? You know what I mean? Like, get
yeah,
in early and get some core time. Then when demand picks up and scarcity kicks in, then you can now sell core time on the secondary market at a more profitable price than what you paid for. So that's pretty interesting too, if that can play out how like that.
agreed. Agreed. I think, yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, but it is exciting. It just feels like now there's so many things happening that it's so many things are coming to fruition. It's just an exciting time. But the other thing that I wanted to get your opinion on is Beefy. So the bridge system essentially launched on Kusama. I think it was last week. Kusama put this out. Beefy Consensus Protocol
Yeah,
has
it
been
just
activated.
passed like last week.
Yeah. Um, so I think, we don't have to talk too much about this, but I think what the important thing about this is what it said right here. It's going to connect to not only this, it lays the groundwork for Snowbridge to connect to Ethereum, but also other coprocessors as well. And I want to talk more about coprocessors when we get to Phala, but it's just, if you want to talk about this, but this is just another step in the right direction. And also, you know, to the point that 2.0 is not just, going to come one day. It's going to be very incremental. There are going to be wins like this along the way that kind of lead to this overall better system. So I thought this was great news, and definitely great news for Kusama. And then we'll definitely move to Polkadot hopefully shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. 2.0 is going to come in waves. It's a combination of things, even async backing, which is like trying to scale. I think async backing is supposed to scale Polkadot to like 100 plus, 100,000 plus TTPS. So it's a lot of things that's going to come out. Even open governance is part of 2.0. That's going to be different iterations of that. But yeah, in terms of Beefy, that's pretty interesting because we had the Nomad, the whole crypto industry had the Nomad bridge hack, and multiple bridge hacks where you have to rely on certain centralized that then an exploit happens and everyone loses their money or the crypto and stuff like that. So the idea of this Beefy in itself is to like a bridging mechanism within Polkadot, right? You know what I mean? I think it stands for bridge efficiency enabling finality. So the idea of this is to be like a layer that's going to like bridge Polkadot to other ecosystems. So one of them is Snowbridge, as you just mentioned. Snowbridge is basically going to bridge Polkadot to Ethereum, and it's supposed to do it just trustlessly, where you don't really have to rely on a centralized anything. You can just, you know what I mean? So, and then another one is the Hyperbridge, and then Hyperbridge is basically going to try to bridge to pretty much every other decentralized too. And there's going to be multiple other bridges that's going to come out. Not just, I think it's a bridge to Kusama too coming in the process. So yeah, I mean, Beefy is going to be pretty interesting because it's going to basically connect Ethereum to Polkadot, Polkadot to Ethereum, and it's going to do it seamlessly. And there's no trust involved. Basically, you're going to be able to basically have these two economies, ecosystems, codependent and work together, and a variety of new things can come out of that. So I'm pretty interesting to see how that develops. I don't think it's going to reach Polkadot too soon though, but yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes on Kusama and what they can bridge and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in Snowbridge and Beefy and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Appreciate that. JD, do you want to maybe walk us through DOT a little bit, the actual DOT token, how it's looking to you?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me share my screen with you
Sure,
guys.
sure.
Let me go this. All right. Let me know once you guys see the screen.
I think it should be up there.
Okay. You guys can see the screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So here's the weekly chart, right? So basically when I do my TA, I like using higher time frames because the higher the time frame, the less false signals. So most people, most day traders, they like using the daily and the hourly charts, right? But for us, we're, for me, I don't like to trade much. I like doing maybe swing trading or maybe investments, right? So that's why I like looking on the weekly or the higher time frame. So here, I posted this one on my Patreon, this orange box here. It's for the DCA levels. We we kind of wicked down here, but it didn't really hit my buy target. So it didn't really I had a order set here at this white line, but it didn't really hit it. But so we kind of bounced off here. The blue line here is the 21 weekly EMA. Basically, what that is whales, and the whales look at that line for a potential buying opportunity. So basically, this wick here are basically whales buying it up. So when they saw that the 21 weekly EMA was getting hit, they bought it up, and now it looks like it's going to go back up. So these oscillators here, I use multiple oscillators, but for here, I'm just going to show you two. I use the RSI, which is overbought or oversold, and the stochastic RSI. I call it the SRSI, and what that thing shows is the momentum. So right now we had a bullish cross here on the weekly, so that's why the price is starting to go up. And if these two lines here crosses above the 80 level, this green line right here, I believe we can start going up. And I think we may have a hit maybe around the $12, because this line here, let me show you this line chart. And so this might be the first to take profits, but for me, let me just make it more straighter so you guys can, that's fine. So we could recheck this one and then go back down and then go up, or break it. And right here is going to be my first take profit, just to enjoy life, right? Because we need to take profits to enjoy life, because honestly, 95% of the people in crypto is going to get wrecked. It's sad to say, but I've been in crypto since 2015, and I seen a lot of people get wrecked, not taking profits. But for DOT, I can see DOT breaking all-time highs, right? So basically the all-time high on, go back to line chart, it's about what, 50 something dollars, right? If this one breaks, if a candle body broke this 52 level, if a candle body breaks above it, we're in this discovery zone. So basically, we don't know where exactly it's going to head up to, but it's going to be higher, and it's a lot of smart money is going to jump in to trick the 95% into thinking that it's going to go higher, but which it can, but then we got to make sure we take calculated profits when that time comes, because it's going to take a lot of people by surprise. But these are my current take profit levels. So basically, I'll take maybe 10% profit here, maybe 20% profit here, maybe 20% profit here. And once the oscillators are overbought at extreme greed, that's when I start taking massive profits, regardless of the top, because we do gotta take profits to enjoy life, right? So this is what I see. I don't see any bearish or bullish divergence at the moment, but it's looking like in the short to midterm we may head up. If we look on the daily chart right here, the momentum is still looking like it's gonna go up. So for the short and the midterm, I think we are able to maybe hit this $12 region. But that's what I see on DOT for the short and midterm.
Appreciate that. I mean, guessing everybody here would be a big fan of $12 DOT. I know I would. No, that's great news. And yeah, JD, the thing about you'll notice about JD, if you follow this stream, or if you follow him, or if you start liking these live streams, he is no emotions, right? Like I said, he's not reading the news. He doesn't necessarily care about your use case. He has his system in place that has worked over and over again. I've been following him personally on here on X and Patreon as well. And the guy just gives it to you straight. You may not like it. He may talk about your token in a way that you don't like, but he is going to give you the straight truth, which I do like. So we'll get more from you, JD, in just a second, but I want to go over here. I think the other, I won't call it the biggest story, but definitely one of the biggest stories in this ecosystem right now is what Hydra DX just put out this week, the announcement of a new decentralized stablecoin for Polkadot, Holler, and also a rebranding to hydration and some cool logos that looks really nice. It's got like this kind of retro Miami Vice theme. If you do go and read their write-up here, it sounds like you want to say it sounds good. Like I like the idea of innovation. I've one that's been burned. I'm sure everybody's had a bad experience with a stable coin. If you've been in crypto long enough, you probably have. I came down here. So historically, many decentralized stable coins have let their users down. Definitely. Holler fixes this. So they announced this thing called Adaptive Liquidity Framework, set of rules which can adjust the parameters of liquidity. There's not so much about how this is going to work. So I guess WebPage, I don't know how familiar you are with this. I read through this. It's exciting. You know, Hydra's obviously very popular within this ecosystem, and they do a lot of things. And, you know, I know you've used Hydra. I've used Hydra either for swapping or just lending, yield farming, whatever it is. But do you know much about this stablecoin and what they're trying to do here?
I actually just seen this one the other day, and I didn't, because I think they just released it like what, 2 days ago.
Yeah,
so yeah,
3 days. They were
I
like
actually just seen
pumping
it.
the announcement. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty interested in what they can do with that. I mean, because you know, Polkadot doesn't really have. I mean, we have USDC, we have Tether, we had AUSD, which was Akala's, and they had a complete like botch of that, and that went to pretty much zero. So you know what I mean? Like I've always been critical of like stable coins that aren't like collateralized or fully collateralized, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
this one seems like it's going to be backed by the liquidity within I think the Omni pool is what they have.
that's what it
So like
says. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm curious to see how that's going to work. I mean, that's pretty interesting. I would hope that I would hope, because it's like it's not much to go off of on what they have. They would have to like put out more information on that. But I would hope that it's, because you know, like the liquidity is everything. You know what I mean? So like, would it be the liquidity in crypto? Would it be the dollars backed by it? You know what I mean? Like exactly. You know, what's exact? Because I think the safest route would be to back it by like dollars. It's the dollars itself, not like all the crypto assets in there. So like, because you know that I don't know, that could be kind of, I got to see how that goes, you know, with them. But I think it's a good idea because we do need a stable coin. But stable coins are all, you know, we saw so many depegged in the past.
Yeah, almost every single one. Well, I mean, it's natural that they do move. I mean, the dollar itself is not necessarily
Right.
$1.
It
I mean,
fluctuates.
it's moving all the time as well. But yeah, it is interesting. I want to see more about it. I do get nervous. Burn and mint mechanism. It just reminds me a little bit of Terra
Luna, yeah,
USDC.
that's what I thought. Like, yeah, Terra Luna, and that's
Yeah.
how that's
So I
basically how
mean,
that's operated. So yeah, that's
yeah,
dangerous, you know. But I don't think this one's going to be an algorithm stable coin though. It's
correct.
going to be more collateral, but to
It
the
seems like it's going to
liquidity.
be over collateralized, which is good.
Yeah,
But yeah, I saw that. I thought it was really interesting. We don't have to spend so much time on Hydra, but that's definitely a big story. JD,
Hydra's pretty good though. It's a good
it
exchange.
definitely is, because the one thing I think people don't realize, maybe they don't, maybe they do, depends how much you use the ecosystem. Trading native dot is a little bit hard in the DeFi, from a DeFi aspect, just actual dot. Like not many people, there's not many ways to trade native dot. You can do V dot or all other things, but trading just dot, it becomes a little bit difficult. So Hydra's one spot that's makes it very, very easy to convert your dot if you want to, you know, trade it into USDT and a little stability and trade back and forth. So
Yeah, my opinion is it's the best DEX right now on within the Polkadot ecosystem. I use it very easily with Nova Wallet. You can use it with the web wallets and all that, and you
yeah,
just send
Talisman.
dot across, get everything you need. And then they're also going to do I was reading that they were going to do a land and borrow type of thing, kind of like how Etherland had back in the day, stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting too. Once again, I'm always like cautious of DeFi. You got to really do it right, because if you don't do it right, you rush it. You have things like a Phala, like Luna, so yeah. But I'm interested in this, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Or in the past, it has definitely lent itself to more of the degenerate aspect. But hopefully, I think it can be done well in a way that caters to the needs, and also, is a little bit hopefully safer and a little bit more stable. I guess I don't know.
And I think the rebrand's great. Hydration, I like like how you said, Miami Vice type. Yeah, it looks nice.
Everybody already says hydration or hydrated anyway, so it just kind of makes sense. JD, do you want to go over? I know there's not so much on HDX. It's a little bit of a newer token as far as some of the others, but do you want to show us some of the charting on HDX?
Yeah, hold on. Let me share this chart right here. So you guys can see the chart now?
Yeah, we got.
Okay, perfect. So what I see on this chart, on the weekly chart, right? So basically on the weekly chart, it may take weeks for it to play out. So it looks like we're creating a hidden bullish divergence on the weekly chart, right? So the price is going up while the oscillator is going down here, right? But one thing that we need to keep track of is this stochastic RSI, because if both lines cross below this red line is a 20 level. If both lines cross down here, I expect at least this 21 weekly EMA to get hit, right? So that's about 18, 19 cents right there. That's like a 10% drop or something. But if that breaks, I expect this orange box to get hit. But if you're in for the long term, because right now it's kind of like a newer crypto. If this thing right here breaks, we're gonna head to price discovery, and not sure. And TA, we can't really determine the exact top, but once this one breaks, it's gonna start going up very, very fast. But we need to make sure we keep our emotions in check, because when it goes up and when we are at overbought territory at extreme greed, that's the time to start taking a little bit of profits, right? So we'll make sure to take calculated profits when that time comes. But alt season is coming, and it's gonna be a very fun ride for us. But this is what I see on HDX.
Very cool. Very cool. I think we're all excited about it, and the excitement is like coupled with the fact that it's so long overdue after like multiple years of just misery down here in the bottoms. But yeah, looking forward to that for sure. All right, let's keep it moving. We'll talk a little bit, and of course we're not going to get to every token here. If there's something you guys want us to talk about, please let us know in the chat or the comment section, and we'll try to update different projects each week, different perspectives and things like that. So Origin Trail's definitely been popular lately, and I think not just because of what they're doing, like their technology is really cool, but just even like looking beyond crypto, looking into like what is happening right now. You see Elon Musk with the Gemini AI launch. Like, it's just the information that's being pulled from, whether it's malicious or whatever, where the information is just being pulled from, it's not accurate. So what Origin Trail is doing, coupling or partnering with companies like Google, Microsoft, they're going to be the leader as far as decentralized knowledge graphing. And that is where I think it is headed, as far as not just AI, search engine, all of these things. Because at the end of the day, people want trusted information, or information that they can trust. And, they don't really want it to be held by these massive conglomerates. So I don't know if, Web Patriot, if you had a chance to look at what they're doing much at Origin Trail, but I just think, we talk about something like Hydra, it's more focused on finance. And I think when people initially think of crypto, they think of cryptocurrency, but the broader aspect is distributed ledger technology. And I think when we look at, a project like Origin or Phala, what we'll look at next, it goes way beyond just, the currency, just the financial aspect. I don't know if you've looked into Origin Trail much on your own.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Origin Trail, and one thing I like about them is, like, they're targeting like supply chain also, you know what I mean? Like their supply chain. So like like about a couple of months ago, they had something in Europe where they were tracking like the chicken in the store, and it had like the origin trail sticker, and you can scan it with the barcode and you can see it on the supply chain and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So that's pretty interesting because they actually have a product where you can origin trail, find the trail of your origin of whatever it is. You can even, I'm working on a form right now. Theoretically, you can probably put the calves on the origin trail and track which, you know what I mean? So it's pretty interesting how that can be utilized just with everything. So yeah, I think the AI narrative is totally going to stick. You know what I mean? That's just where we're going in the future. And they got the DKG, as you mentioned, the decentralized knowledge graphs. So yeah, they innovated, pioneered, and I think they're doing pretty good. I don't think they're very brand adaptive. You know what I mean? Like they're good at making partnerships with. They got they got more partnerships than Google. You know what I mean? So like they're pretty here. It seems like they're here to stay, and they have some staying power for sure.
Agreed. And that's really powerful. I think what you're talking about with the supply chain and the tracking, I think that's going to become increasingly popular as we move
It'll be
forward.
huge
People
for
want to
sure.
know, like, yeah, it's like people want to know what they're putting into their body, whether it's food, whether it's the ingredients in your medicine, whatever it is. I think people they have a right to know, and the technology is seemingly here for us to be able to know. So I think it's we're here, we're ready for that.
Even here in the stores, like, you know, I don't normally see this in America, but in the stores here, you'll see people like scan the barcode of something and then look at it. I'm like, okay, it's already happening. You know what I mean? So when you combine AI and blockchain with that, that's what Origin Trail is doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think they're going to pioneer the way for sure. They're definitely, they just crossed $1. Like,
They
you
just
know what I mean?
crossed the
So they
dollar,
went
yeah.
from like 17 cents to $1, you know what I mean? And it's holding, you know? So, and they're only going to keep innovating. So yeah, they're big potential within the ecosystem.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, that just crossed $1. You want to help us out with that, JD? What you see as far as the TRAC token, what it looks like?
Yep. Okay, hold on. Let me share the screen right here.
Thank you.
You guys see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so right here, hold on. Oops. So right now we're basically creating bearish divergence right now, but for us to negate the bearish divergence, the RSI needs to break this last higher high right here, right? This higher high. So if the RSI can have a weekly close above the 82, the about 83 level, this will get negated, and then we'll probably head up to like maybe close to two bucks. So so this is it's not a new token, but you know, so like after we broke this triangle here right here, you see that whales actually bought, right? So these are whales we're buying here because they see this potential breakout. So after this breakout, look what happened. Like we increased how much, like 4x right now, right? Or probably a little bit more than that. And what I see here on the stochastic RSI is if both of these lines cross above the 80 level, this green line right here, this bearish divergence might get negated, right? And then we'll probably head up higher. But right now, we can't really ignore the divergence. If we head down, I expect to at least this orange box to get hit, which I'm going to be adding towards my position on TRAC, because yeah, it's possible that this bearish divergence can play out, but if it gets negated, ooh, this is going to start moving up very, very fast. But yeah, right now we can't really ignore this divergence, but it would be an amazing opportunity if we head back down.
It sounds like it could be a perfect storm with the technical and with what they're actually doing as far as partnerships and news things. It looks like it, or it sounds like it could be potentially big.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right, let's keep moving over here. Let me give me one. What do we want to talk? Oh, Phala, I think. So Phala, we'll talk about them next. Kind of keeping with this theme of, you know, blockchain projects or distributed ledger projects, or finance isn't, I guess, the main focus. Phala released their 2024 path just kind of recently, and they're focusing again on this co-processor for AI and also DePIN or decentralized physical infrastructure networks. So I was reading through this and I found this part kind of interesting. So the idea of co-processors and computing emerged, back when CPUs basically couldn't handle complex tasks. You had GPUs, and it kind of makes the comparison of Ethereum, likening it to what we would, the CPU. And then you have these co-processors, whether it's Phala, I believe, there's going to be others that are built as well, that are just kind of helping with more of the complex tasks. And with what we're seeing, obviously, just like email isn't the end result of the internet, like finance isn't the end result of distributed ledger, there's going to be, whether it be AI or, just overall DePIN technology. I think Phala is probably one of the most underrated. And then you also, what I like about them, and I'll let you speak to this too, they're out in the community and they have a very smart team, whether Marvin Tong, I can't remember their guys over there, but like really smart guys that, they didn't really want to go and compete with all the DeFi platforms. What they did was they basically, saw a different industry, took out all the congestion that was making that industry, less valuable, and just focused on the really important parts. And now I think what they're building, how it started, how it's going now, it's just a company that's moving really fast. So I'll throw it over to you, Web Patriot. I think you're pretty familiar. You're like Phala as well. So I'll let you kind of weigh in on what your thoughts on where this
Marvin Tong, one of the main guys
Tong
over there. Yeah, Phala's pretty interesting, and they don't get a lot of love within what they're doing. They've been building a lot, especially all through the bear market. You know what I mean? So, they're the co-processors. They're building co-processors for products, for AI. They're tackling everything. You know what I mean? They also have an Oracle service. They're striving to be like the Amazon Web Service of blockchain. You know what I mean? So like, Phala is pretty unique in itself. The token hasn't really moved much, but they've been developing nonstop. And like I said, the AI thing is the next big narrative, but also too, though, like oracles, data readers, all that stuff is also going to go hand in hand with this. So yeah, Phala's definitely I see Phala as like one of the next big parachains behind Origin Trail that's going to, like, if like in terms of market capitalization, I think it's going to $1 billion also, like along with Origin Trail, like that's on the road with what A-Star is doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, Phala's been innovating. They're I don't know too much about the DePINs actually, but yeah, they've been developing pretty well through the whole entire bear market. And yeah, computation, all this, the idea of computation, what to do, have available computation resources. That's the narrative right now with Polkadot, with everything in the ecosystem. So yeah, I see them going pretty high actually. They're doing pretty good.
Yeah, agreed. I think I'm going to reach out to a couple of those guys too. I think
the roadmap.
What's that?
They also released a roadmap like just recently actually.
Yeah, I think this is just kind of like the abbreviated version of it. But yeah, they have a lot of things going on. I think I'm going to reach out to them, see if we can get one of their guys on there, because they're probably the best, obviously, to explain it. And I think, also too, with what we were talking about with, the overall Polkadot 2.0, they're going to be a big beneficiary of, these bridges that are being built out and the connectivity with Ethereum and others as well. So I think a lot of positive things. I guess we'll go over to you, JD. We'll take a look at the Phala token, PHA. If you will.
Okay, let me share this one right here. All right. So here's the chart that I'm like currently looking at right now. So right now, this pattern right here is actually it's called a descending triangle, right? Usually descending triangles are bearish, but look at this right here. We're breaking out from here. If we have a full body candle close above this line, this is gonna go up, and it's gonna validate the ascending triangle right here, right? So here, so if we get rid of all the wicks and then just pay attention to all of the just candle close, we can actually see here. Let me do a line chart. I think is a better view. We can actually see a better a picture, right? So the way I drew this line right here is, so these things here are candle closes, right? Candle close up here, and it broke out. So if this week, if we can have a full body candle close above here, it gives a better probability that it's gonna start breaking up to the upside, right? And there's another bullish thing that I see here is if on the weekly close, if both of these lines cross above the 80 level, this green line right here, it's gonna add more bullish momentum to the upside. So right now it's looking like it's gonna head up, but we can't really ignore the breakdown. If we break down, if the candle is still below this yellow line by weekly close, we may head back to this orange box for a better buying opportunity, or maybe retest down here at maybe 8 cents and then bounce off. But right now it is looking like it's gonna have a confirmed break to the upside. So we're gonna have to wait and see for now. But right now it's looking like it's breaking to the upside. So that's what I see on here. And here's some take profit levels. Like if we go on the line chart, we can see this, support resistance right here. That's another. So that's around about 26 cents, 26 cents. Here's the next take profit, which is about like 53 cents. So these are some good take profits. But if this cluster here breaks, it's gonna be price discovery, right? So for me, if I was in this crypto, I would take maybe 10 to 15% profit here, 10 to 15% profit here, and then just ride it all the way up. I mean, profit always wins, so that's why I like taking profit regardless if it tops or not. But we'll make sure to calculate profits once we are at overbought territory on multiple higher time frames. But that's what I see on this crypto right here.
Awesome. Thank you. I mean, that's what you want from your technical analysis guy. Tell me when to take the calculated profit. I mean, like, what else do you want? Appreciate it, JD. We'll do one more. This one, I want to do a video about this because I want to learn more about this Bittensor. It's been a parachain since last year, open source protocol that powers decentralized blockchain-based tokenized machine learning network. It's just like people have no idea what is coming in the, what Polkadot has the ability to offer as this layer 0. There's so many incredible things that are just being built on here. I didn't even know this had the potential to exist until I started reading about this. And Webpage, I'm not going to like throw you on the spot because I don't know that anybody has like a great idea of what this is, but this, what I've gathered, or someone shared a link with me. I'll try to find it here. But comparing this, and I guess you can create AI models, submit it to the network, and then like there's a, in a decentralized way, there's a group that kind of like grades the model, and then it can become offered available as a service. It's kind of like making AI models as a service. I don't know if that's how you are understanding it, but I definitely need to do some more research. Also wanted to talk about the token because it's good. Tau token's been going kind of wild lately, but I don't know if you want to correct me, Web Patriot, or give your thoughts on what you think this does or is.
Yeah, Bittensor, they won a parachain slot, but I don't think they ever used it. But they are built on Substrate. But they did, because I think they decided to like stay like not fully utilize the parachain. But yeah, Bittensor is pretty interesting. Since why they didn't launch fully on Polkadot, I never looked that deep into them, but they're around the AI narrative of like the subnets, and you can get a subnet, and like how you were describing, that's my understanding of it. Like you can implement your AI and then go from there. It's pretty complex, actually. They've been doing pretty good on the in the token wise, but yeah, it's a pretty complicated like concept though. But like it's like how you can just like build AI models or whatever they're trying to do. Like it's pretty interesting, but I don't know 100% on Bittensor.
Altcoin Jim shared this with me when he saw that we were doing this. So he put out, so it's an internet scaling machine learning, the Tau token, singular computing infrastructure. Yeah, like you said, pioneered the subnet. production of incentivization of intelligence, which is like a really interesting thing to consider. Incentivizing machine is essentially machine intelligence, which is pretty cool. And he compares this to a TRAC token as well. I'll retweet this out so everybody can go ahead and read this. But also, in addition to how, like, I guess, interesting, unique this project is, the token has been going pretty crazy. I don't know if JD, if you want to show us quickly about that, the Tau token.
Yep. Okay, hold on. Let me share this. Okay. So here's the Tau token here. So I was posting this one on the on the Patreon and my Discord here. So we actually went down here and then touched this 21 weekly EMA. That means smart money was actually buying it within this orange box between the 0.5 and 0.618. And it was corresponding to the 21 weekly EMA here. So smart money was actually buying it. And look what's going on now. We're currently having bearish divergence here, but my next buying opportunity here, if this was gonna go back down, let's take from the swing low to the possibly swing high on a log. Okay, so let me just remove this. So if this was to go down, I'm thinking we may head down maybe here. Let me add another target here. So in between here would be an amazing buying opportunity if you're in it for the long haul. We can't really ignore this bearish divergence here because, you know, it could play out, it could not. But if both these lines on the stochastic RSI crosses above the 80 level, this will more likely get negated. But for now, if this plays out, I would expect this orange box to get hit for a better buying opportunity. Another way to negate this divergence is if the RSI can break above the 90 level, 90.55 level on the weekly close. That would negate the divergence, and we can head up to price discovery, because right now we're basically at all-time highs, right? So I see massive potential for this token right here. I mean, we do need retracements down, right? Because if it keeps going up without any retracements, that will not be healthy, and frankly, it's not going to be good for most people, because they're just going to hold and not take profits all the way up. If we go back down like this and then just go up like this and like that, that will be healthy for this next coming alt season, which is coming very, very fast. So yeah, that's what I see on this Tau token here.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you. All right, guys, we're at 45 minutes. I think that's all for today. I appreciate it. JD757 on X. Also, guys, check him out on Patreon, providing a lot of good information. You know, so if we didn't cover your token, he's really good. Like, I'll be in their chat like, hey, can you cover this? And he'll do a chart on it pretty instantly. So good follow there. And Web3 Patriot, thank you very much for waking up early with us in New Zealand. Guys, we'll try to do this every week. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what topics we should talk about next. And I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Absolutely.
Cool,
you too.
You too. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.